Giving him the Cross Rhodes. And he's selling it like death. Tosses his shades out. Now just pushing him out of the ring like a sack of garbage.
He's like, dude, don't dead weight me right
Yeah, right? Seriously. He's like, I'm tired, man. I've been wrestling for 15 minutes at this point. Cena's waiting for him, though. Oh, and he's got the belt. Belt shot coming. Grabs the belt. Come on, Cody. Hit him with the belt. Oh, gosh. They're like Roman and Brock playing tug of war over the belt. Hit him with it, Cody.
Come on, Cody.
He's begging off like 85 Ric Flair. Come on. Cody, stop hesitating.
You're not that good. Come on.
He kicked you in the nuts, Cody. Again, twice now. Doing the right thing didn't work for AJ Styles earlier tonight. You keep that title. We ain't ending this match with a belt shot, surely. We're not going to be this underwhelming after last year. Ref, get over there too slow. Screw this. That was terrible. That was terrible.
That was such a stupid ending.
That was so dumb and so underwhelming. That was a 1997 end of Nitro Hollywood Hogan match. I hope all you losers are happy that wanted Cena to win 17, and I hope the next few months are miserable for you because he ain't showing up. He's not going to have banger matches. That's the crap level match you're going to have for the rest of his run. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. People who subscribe, people who are just visiting, if you were cheering for Cena, you got what you asked for, and I hope the run is miserable. I hope the aura was worth it. That sucked worse than Hollywood Hogan. I saw Hollywood Hogan win titles in WCW to that level of dumb. They literally ripped off a Nitro main event. It was stupid, and all of you should be embarrassed and be ashamed of yourselves for wanting that to happen. Yeah. Samantha, I will co-sign that letter when you write it. This is dumb. By the way, no Rock, by the way. No Dwayne, no Mr. TKO, no strap in for the ride that The Rock's taking you on. I tried to tell y'all in January he was full of it, and he didn't know where he was going. Listen to me. I know things. I've been a fan for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless of who you thought was going to win, that ending still sucked.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That was trash. That's one of the worst WrestleMania main events I've seen in a long time.
More, and it was just lame.
Triple H going over the Big Show, The Rock, and Mick Foley in 2000 was better than that. Hulk Hogan showing up to beat Yokozuna was better than that. The Miz beating John Cena at least had The Rock show up. That was trash. And all of you who begged for it get what you deserve as a wrestling fan, not in life. This is all just wrestling. I love you guys for real. But when we're talking about this is trash. This is trash. I can't wait to record the next podcast with A and B. I hope they want to debrief WrestleMania because I got so much to say. I got so much more in the chamber. And yeah, listen, George, you're absolutely right. Cody is getting that title back. He is their guy. I don't know. Now I'll say this. I don't know if he's the one who takes it off Cena. I don't know. Maybe. But that was so deflating. And you know what? From match quality standpoint, yes, George Kittle, exactly. He looks like Brock Purdy just threw his fourth interception. Yeah, the story's going to be the story. Listen, I'm not talking about the story, J Money. I totally hear that. But this is trash. Cena could have all those rivalries without the belt. Cena Punk would sell tickets without the belt. Cena Orton would sell tickets without the belt. This is garbage. Yeah, and Travis Scott. Travis Scott was our run-in. We had Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso, Solo Sikoa, John Cena, The Rock, and The Undertaker. 6 run-ins of high caliber quality last year for Cody and Roman.
Yeah.
And now we get Travis Scott. Faint, 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 faint. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
EO.
The slow walk up to, I don't know, it's just all of it sucks.
Yeah. Io, Rhea, and Bianca should have headlined this WrestleMania. Screw number 17. Who cares?
I hate that because it was such a good night up until, like, I don't know, they started off so strong and it just got progressively worse.
I want to highlight this because Diglo, and this isn't personal, because this is indicative of a sentiment that I've been reading ever since Cena came back. It's about number 17. It had to happen. Who said it had to happen at WrestleMania? Who said it had to happen in a trash wrestling match? Who said it had to happen when Cena just cut 4 promos and wrestled a trash match? We still have 8 months left in Cena's retirement tour. Number 17 could have happened at any time between now and December. At any time.
This was a regular singles match, yeah. I mean, like, it's like could have happened any night.
Garbage. Hot garbage.
I mean, it has happened other nights. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
And it was a ripoff of a bad WCW finish. It was awful, dude. Like, there's no defending this. And, like, because I appreciate my sanity, I'm not getting on Twitter tonight because there's going to be a bunch of mindless idiots saying this was peak cinema garbage. Peak cinema was last night. Punk, Roman, and Seth. That was your cinema match right there. And I didn't, I wasn't happy that Rollins won either. Oh, okay. Let's handle this retort. Maybe he's tired, bro. Look how he was moving in the ring. I don't even think he lasts the whole year. Well, if he ain't tired, hold on. What do you mean it ain't over? Hold on. Because Netflix went off. I see him holding the peak trash. That's all it is. This really put a damper on the whole WrestleMania. And again, it's not just about Cena winning. It's how he won. It's how the match was booked. It was garbage, man. Bianca, Rhea, and Io had the better worked match. Yeah, don't thank Cena. It's garbage. He's not. You don't thank him for nothing. Trash. Yeah, I mean, you should have given him a shot to win it later on, and that's the problem, man. It's about 17, and now when people think about 17, they're going to think about this trash, subpar. AEW fans are going to mock it forever, and they should. Garbage moment. This is like, oh no, that's not. That's from night 1, replaying night 1. There's no I don't think there's a thing here. I'm just going to make sure there's absolutely nothing else here. Yeah, who cares, Cena? You egotistical loser. Like, this is just, man. So there you go. Hope you guys are happy. You leave your ratings in the chat. I can't even give you a number right now because it was. I'm so glad.
The first half was 10 out of 10. They had us in the first half.
Yeah, had me in the first half. Not gonna lie, that was WrestleMania Night 2 in a nutshell. Had us in the first half. Not gonna lie. The minute Logan Paul showed up on stage, this show never recovered. Never recovered.
I like Gunther taking the belt off Cena.
I would love that. Yeah, listen. Any full-time wrestler that's at the top of the card is worthy of doing it. Sorry. Cody in a rematch. CM Punk. This new Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns. Gunther. Drew McIntyre. Braun Breaker, any of those guys would be a more worthy champion than Cena at this point. He's got his record now. You know what they should do? They should give him the Rey Mysterio treatment, like what John Cena did to Mysterio and took the belt right off him before the end of Raw. Have him show up on Raw tomorrow and have somebody just squash him. Just Goldberg level squash him. Bring Goldberg back for his retirement match just to take the belt off him. That's how salty I am about it. I would rather Goldberg be the WWE champion than John Cena that way. It's so, maybe I don't actually mean that. Okay. But that's trash, hot trash. If we could take bits and pieces of night one and the first half of night two, you would have an epic level WrestleMania. But this WrestleMania was a polarized event of really high highs and really low lows. So yeah, I know I'm being a little ecstatic here or a little fantastical. But whatever. It's okay, George. I'm clearly in my feelings too. I'm self-aware. It's fine. But no, that I cannot believe that they ended both nights of Mania like that garbage. I don't care about speaking Goldberg into. I tried to speak Cody retaining into existence. Clearly, that magic ran out, and I wasted it on Cena kicking Cody in the nuts. So anyway, yeah, Stand and Deliver was great, Justin. That was a great show Saturday morning. There were excellent matches at Mania. So starting with night one, recapping, I really liked Jay and Gunther because I liked the story that it told. I really liked, I thought the War Raiders and New Day was a fine match. It still was kind of a Raw main event level match, but most WrestleManias, whether you guys believe this or not, from the first WrestleMania up until last year, had TV level matches on there. Okay. Most of them have TV level matches on there. Every single WrestleMania. So I'm not as offended that the War Raiders New Day match felt like a TV match because every WrestleMania has matches like that all the way up until last year. And then LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, that was a great match. Both guys brought it. It was really well done. I wish I had the card in front of me because I feel like I'm going to forget matches that I actually liked. Jade and Naomi, I thought was a good WrestleMania match. I thought they both delivered as well. The Charlotte Tiffany match, I was disappointed in. They just don't seem to work well together. But then Seth, Roman, and Punk, that was an all-timer match. That's a match people will continue to talk about for years. And that element is something you want out of WrestleMania, right? So that is I appreciate that. Because Mania, it had all the hallmarks of what a Mania is. Title changes, all-time sort of immortal moments, if we're going to start using that word now for their Hall of Fame induction matches, and then regular old matches, But Mania Night 2, started off on fire. The women tore the house down from the beginning. What was the second match? Because that was amazing too. I now can't remember what the second match was. Oh, it was the street fight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. They killed it as well. The Intercontinental title match was so much fun. Now that is something I can get behind, the crowd having fun with cheering Dominic Mysterio, because he's not the face of the company. It's a mid-card title. You can have fun in those moments. But the moment we got to AJ and Logan, it just fell apart. My stream fell apart. Our buffering fell apart. I was disappointed in the same way, not the same way, but similarly to Charlotte and Tiffany as AJ and Logan. I just expected them to have chemistry in the ring, and they didn't have bad. And I'll give this credit. At least AJ and Logan felt like we're doing something with AJ and Karrion Kross. So I'll show a little grace to that, and because I don't believe we'll see Logan again until SummerSlam probably, or what's the next one? Backlash, the one that's in St. Louis. Maybe we'll see him again for that. Randy Orton and Joe Hendry, phenomenal moment. That actually was before AJ and Logan. Okay, it peaked with Randy and Joe Hendry, and then fell apart after that. I mean, that match, the tag title match, it was nice to see Becky back, but that match didn't do anything for me. And then that hot garbage mess of a main event was so stupid. Like, remember, let's play history, because, you know, wrestling historian, that's my gimmick around here. Last year, setting that match between Cody and Roman, Cody runs afoul of The Rock, the final boss. He makes Cody bleed in the rain. He smears his blood on a weight belt, starts calling out Cody's mom, all this stuff. And does Cody take a shot? And night one of WrestleMania last year, who won that match? Who won that match, guys? Do you remember? It was The Rock and Roman Reigns. And how did that match end, by the way? Do you guys remember? Was it The Rock hitting the stupid people's elbow on Cody and pinning him clean? Yes, that is how that match ended. And then the next night, when Cody finally finishes his story, does he get to whip The Rock back with his weight belt? Does he get to defend the honor of his mother in the front row? No. The Undertaker shows up and choke slams him instead. And Cody doesn't get a lick back on The Rock. Cody wins the belt and he has an emotional moment. I still think it's one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. The next night, The Rock comes back out to face Cody and teases wanting his title, and then hands him some mystery MacGuffin item. And we talk about that for months because The Rock never shows up again, because that's what he does. He's an absentee dad. He is the absentee dad of WWE. He tells you that he loves you and he cares about you, and that you give him those goosebumps all the time. Look at my goosebumps. Look at how great my goosebumps are, how much I love you all so much that I won't come actually and see you again. He's the deadbeat dad, not Rey Mysterio. And doesn't show up again until September, when Rock and Roman are wrestling, was it Jimmy and Solo in the main event? The main event of that show that should have been main evented by CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell, the cap to the best feud of that year. And The Rock, but they has to be main evented because The Rock's going to show up. And The Rock shows up and does his stupid little throat slit that meant nothing at the time, by the way. It meant nothing at the time. They thought it was going to mean something. It didn't mean anything. We don't see The Rock again until right before Elimination Chamber, give or take. I might be missing a couple of appearances here and there. And then Rock says, I want your soul. He thinks he's Johnny Ringo from Tombstone. I want your blood and I want your soul. And I want them both right now. And Cody says, go F yourself, which he should have said to Rock a long time ago, quite frankly. We all should have, in our own way. And then The Rock sells his soul to Cena. But let's talk about Cena selling his soul to The Rock for a second. When Cena decides to sell his soul to The Rock, what position is he in? He just won the Elimination Chamber without The Rock's help. He had already secured this WrestleMania main event against Cody without The Rock's help. And who didn't show up tonight? The Rock. Why does he need to be affiliated with The Rock at all? This was a clear pivot because The Rock decided he didn't want to play ball anymore with anybody. He didn't show up. He's the absentee dad. He went out to get a pack of cigarettes. He's never coming back. And they just pivot to Cena being the bad guy. And now Cena wins with a 1996 Nitro ending Hollywood Hogan win that is just hot garbage. So I don't think Cody's going to show up with Sting face paint anytime soon to be the masked Avenger. But man, oh man, did they ruin the ending of Mania. And it was trash. And you know what? I was about thinking about how stupid it was to have Travis Scott as a part of this main event actually clued it into me. Did you guys notice that this was the first Mania in a long time that didn't have some dumb celebrity segment in the middle of the show? Like, and no offense to any of the celebrities, they kept them all at ringside. They kept them out of the ring. Snoop Dogg didn't come into the ring and do a little dance and have a moment with The Miz or somebody. You know, Run DMC didn't do a rap in the middle of the ring. That's a really old reference for some of you guys. But the celebrities stayed out of it. They stayed as fans. Logan Paul. Okay, touche. But You know what I mean, though, right? You know what I mean when I say that, Diglo. Nevertheless, Travis Scott milking all the attention. Of course, we might see The Rock again. And when The Rock does show up, he's going to give us the same BS he gave us last time. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the story. Dude, you do Fast and Furious movies. You wouldn't know a story if it bit you in your tattoo. Like, you don't know storytelling. You know box office money. And because this WrestleMania didn't do the box office money that last year did, you dipped. So you didn't have to be attached to it because you couldn't take credit for it. And instead, Cody is now left to look like an idiot. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Rock has abandoned this story because there's no reason. Everyone was telling me Rock's got to show up at WrestleMania. It's the biggest event. It's the biggest moment. It is. I agree with you. And where was he? Not there. And you know what Cody looks like? An idiot who has been owned 3 times by The Rock now, at least, and has not gotten a lick back. It was like Stephanie McMahon back in the day. She used to haul off and slap wrestlers like Batista, like John Cena, like others. And you know what? For all of his misgivings and all of his horror and terribleness as a human being, Vince McMahon understood one cardinal rule about wrestling. If you're going to be a sick, terrible villain, you got to be willing to take a beating. Eventually, the hero has to conquer evil, has to beat the mess out of that villain. And The Rock is too proud to do that. I'm convinced The Rock is too proud to do that. Because Stephanie would do all that all the time, and ain't no man going to smack her. Like, I mean, the closest she ever got was Ronda Rousey, ripping her arm out of the socket almost, But no man's going to do that. You're not going to put that on WWE TV, and I wouldn't want them to either. But that's why I don't think Stephanie should have taken liberties with the wrestlers for heat, because she's not going to be embarrassed unless they're just going to call her a bad word, and that's not the same. And Rock is never, that's just what I said, Sophie, men can't hit women. And then I don't advocate for that either, which is why I don't think we should try to set that table in the storytelling. But again, that was years ago. Stephanie's a different woman in the public eye now because she's corporate and she ain't going to be like that. But Rock wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to go over on these guys. And then he shows up in January before he turns on Cody and does the I want your soul stuff. And then he's like, oh, Cody, oh, man, you're the future of this company. And say hi to Mama Rhodes for me. And Cody's in the crowd like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, I remember when you embarrassed me and humiliated me in front of my mother. Ha, 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 whatever. Trash ending to WrestleMania. Not a trash mania. But that was a hot garbage finish. I cannot believe they pulled a finish of 1997 Nitro out of that. I'm flabbergasted, man. I cannot believe that they were that lazy. They were that lazy with it. And I don't know whose call that was. It was Triple H. Unbelievable. Diglo asked a good question. Steven, what good can come out of Cena winning the title besides number 17? I don't know what good comes out of it, because what you would do back in the day, like remember in the early 2000s, Triple H had his reign of terror, like it was, and Cena even was like, LOL, Cena wins and stuff, all this stuff. If you hold the belt with a vice grip, like Gunther and Jay tonight. And I know how you feel about Jay. I'm not trying to get you to admit that Jay's good, Diglo, but when you have an established dominant champion, it makes it special when someone takes the belt off them. But this decision, all it does is pad Cena's stats and cement him as some perceived GOAT. And eventually somebody's going to beat Cena for that title, I guess. But they're beating an old Cena. That Cena wasn't impressive. That Cena was slow and sluggish. I mean, and I don't mean to bag on him. He's 40-something years old. Of course, he wrestled like his age, and he all he did was get an assist from Travis Scott that really didn't do anything. So he pretty much beat Cena clean, because whatever Travis Scott did didn't do anything to truly hamstring Cena. And I hated on Cena for a long time. In his prime, But yeah, I agree. That's the worst I've seen Cena. That wasn't good. That was worse than the Austin Theory match. Y'all can keep holding out hope that The Rock will show up. I don't care if he ever shows up again or not. I'm so done with him as an on